Hi.
How are you? Pleasure to meet you.
Very well, how are you? Oh, dear.
Oh yeah. What shoes are those?
Oh, they're, oh, fuck. Fendi.
Ah, they're dope. I like the little hardware on it.
I'd give them to you, but your feet are way too big for these.
It's cool. So, how experimental did you get on this album?
Very. My producer, David Holmes, insisted that I didn't bring any songs to the studio. I just turned up with a guitar and then we played some records and then he said, right, show me what you got. And I was like, well, I haven't got anything. And we just made it up in the studio. And I've got to say, the longer it went, the more I enjoyed it. It got a bit frustrating when, you know, you would be in the studio sometimes and nothing would be happening. And then you'd be in the studio some days and there'd be a huge leap forward. But it was the fundamentally different way of recording than I've ever done, you know. And I think the record sounds better, all the better for it.
She Told Me How to Fly.
Yeah.
Is about your wife, correct?
Well, you know, okay, well, it's about a girl. And when I'm writing songs that suggest to me this is going to be about a girl, I will project that onto my missus.
Because she's your dream girl.
Because she is the boss. She's actually the girl on the cover as well.
Really?
As I said to her, it's about time you started contributing to this fucking thing. Get your ass on the cover.
Did she get points then?
No, she didn't. She got to keep the dress.
There are people talking about the sounds that are, I guess, similar to Marvin Gaye, or some sounds that seem to be inspired by like, even a Blondie. How did that happen? Is that accurate?
Well, again, just by having a very, very creative producer in the studio and having the right attitude and the right spirit of adventure, so that when somebody says sound too much like Oasis, he would just stop me and say, no, you've done that before, try something else. And even if it was just, you know, to try something else is quite a vague thing to say, and he would even say, just get a guitar that you've never played on a track before and let's see what you do with that. And it was all kind of him throwing things at me like that and me kind of reacting to it. I came to a point after the Chasing Yesterday tour where I had a clear sense of who I am. And it was time to just park that and just say, okay, well, I've done that now. I'm not sure I can take that thing any further. And it was time to just throw it all up in the air.
Let's go back to Oasis days for a second. Do you miss those days?
I miss the trajectory of it all, the not knowing. You were constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger and it was leading somewhere. I miss that sense of you're holding on tight to a roller coaster and you don't really know what's going to happen. But we were all in our 20s and like now I know, you roughly know what's going to happen. Your thing is mapped out and all that. And it should be like that when you get to my age, you know what I mean? There should be no surprises left. The only surprises should be in your music. But back then in the 90s, of course, they were crazy days. We were all young. And it was, honestly, it was mind-blowing. But I don't sit here and miss it now because I did it. Done it once. You know, it's like I say, that if we take the roller coaster theme, it's like how many times do you want to go on the roller coaster? You've got once or twice, and then it's just boring. You know.
I'm stealing that, by the way. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
You heard it here first.
Yes. Liam recently, he gave an interview to Fault magazine and he says, I don't want to be solo. I miss being in a band. I miss my brother the way he was back then. I miss singing those great songs that we all made great. What is your response? And I don't know, how does that make you feel?
Well, how does it make me feel? It makes me feel, I don't know how it makes me feel. I don't know. For my own part, I'm not really interested in what he says. I think he says too much. And that's it, good luck to him. He's out there somewhere, I'm, you know, doing my thing. He's out there somewhere doing my thing. You know, and he's promoting my records and singing my songs. Fucking good luck to him.
Amen to that. You're the best, thank you. Oh yes, please. I said yes, please. You mind taking a pic with him?
Yeah, make sure you get him in.